So Magic the Gathering is a trading card that's not. Oh boy. Okay, haha. Here it is. What e-girl? I don't know about any e-girls. You know about e-girls. I'm not obsessed. Whatever. Roll the intro. Hey, Gengar Gang. What is going on? My name is Ryan, this is the Analytic Gengar, and welcome to another video. Now, cold opens aside, I am serious about the idea that we can learn a lot from other trading card games. And in today's article, we're going to actually take a look at something that Magic the Gathering is doing that I genuinely think Pokemon has done in the past, and more importantly, should do more of in the future. So without further ado, let's get into this gamer article. But right before we do, don't forget that if you like today's video, definitely feel free to leave a like, especially if you like Amaranth. And then, of course, if you are not already, feel free to subscribe to join the Gengar Gang. But as always, link will be down below, and let's dive right on into it. So, our good friend Eric Switzer from The Gamer posts that, TCG should borrow some ideas from Magic the Gathering, meaning let's get a little bit more creative. So, he has been a Pokemon card fan since he was 9 years old, but Magic recently caught his attention for many different reasons. Now, we have tons of news about all of the different new types of mechanics that are coming out, all of the new sets. We are basically learning about sets at a very highly unprecedented pace, and I only say that because it's actually shocking how much we know well in advance of things. Meaning, Fusion Strike wasn't even out yet, and then magically we already knew about the new set featuring and premiering the V-Star, Charizard, and Arceus. So it's not like Pokemon isn't doing a good job of getting news and information out to us. However, Magic the Gathering has done a little bit more in the realm of really cool, unique, and distinct initiatives. So unlike a situation like Pokemon is currently in, where they're really just blasting out sets and doing the absolute best they can to get cool, fancy Pokemon cards out there, Magic is really helping to craft a little bit more of a collectible trading card game and piquing the interest of different groups while doing so. So, the guy uses very specific examples like one of the Magic sets double feature that consistently deliver fresh ideas and themes, and Pokemon would be wise to learn a few lessons from Magic if it doesn't want to get left in the dust. Now, I think this is a really important statement. As much as I am a vintage collector, I do genuinely hope that the Pokemon trading card game continues its rampant success across the world because of a variety of reasons. One, love Pokemon and would hate to see the trading card game, get overtaken by MetaZoo of all things. But on a more serious and kind of financial or investment-driven approach, the modern success of Pokemon is a great opportunity to help ensure the health of the vintage markets. And I think that is something that a lot of people have a logical gap in connecting. But let's be real here. Most people got involved with Pokemon when cards were modern, because it's not like you immediately jump into what is vintage. Many of the even vintage collectors now, think about it, were collectors of modern product. It just so happens that that modern product has aged and become vintage. And so I have a theory that the modern health of the modern markets definitely influence and perhaps even move in shadow with the vintage market. Just my own 2 cents here. Now, the article goes on to say that Magic is slowly becoming the Fortnite of card games, and I mean that in the most charitable way possible. Now, what do they mean? Well, Magic, and specifically Wizards, who still makes the sets, started experimenting with crossovers, and this, I think, is where the article kind of hits its actual genuine stuff here, right? So there was a charity set of promos featuring Transformers, Nerf, Dungeons and Dragons, Ponies, The Galloping, a set of My Little Pony cards. So there's a whole bunch of different collaborative sets that have been introduced here, and that's what's pretty neat about this stuff, right? It catches a certain air about it because it begins to lend itself to the idea that these are very cool, these are very collectible, and obviously it helps bring fans of each of these different groups into the Magic the Gathering space, which I think is, again, pretty neat. So, just as an idea, right, if you were a fan of My Little Pony cards, or if you're an ironic collector in many ways, like many of us like to pretend we are, then you might think it's a cool idea to collect all of the My Little Pony cards as PSA 10s. Why? Because it's funny to do so, right? And that's usually how these types of collections start, right? No one woke up and probably said, I'm gonna be a waifu collector, but what ends up happening is, for one reason or the other, you end up collecting and specializing in these really weird, odd sets, and something like this is an excellent gateway to get more collectors interested. Now, the article goes on to say that this entire concept of crossovers really took off last year with the Godzilla collections. I don't think that was a true coincidence, given the fact that Godzilla had a movie come out, and then the Godzilla cards came out as alternate art variants of specific cards, like Ikoria, Lair of the Behemoths. So again, really cool, similar concept to what's happening in Pokemon right now, because they are trying to push these alternate arts as sort of the new secret rare. I've made a video and discussed that at length, but I do genuinely believe that the alternate arts are slowly becoming the chase cards within any particular given set, and that's just primarily driven by the way things are, right? When you have 16 to 25 rainbow rares, full art trainers, and a whole bunch of other secret rares that are just kind of piling on, the only thing that really begins to stand out are those really outstanding chase cards that come in the form of secret rare cards. So, something to bear in mind. Now, the article says that the success of the crossovers has led to the Universe Beyond, a new Magic sub-brand announced earlier this year that will bring other media properties into the game. Some, like Godzilla, will appear as alternate art variants of standard format cards, while others will be released as part of Secret Lair, a series of small card sets designed by well-known artists. Some of the sets already released, including The Walking Dead, Dungeons & Dragons, Bob Ross, we all love Bob Ross, while upcoming sets include things like Stranger Things, Warhammer 40k, Fortnite, Street Fighter, Lord of the Rings. You get it. There are tons of different IPs that I just listed off, each of which will technically be very, very cool when it comes to alluring other people into the game. And again, here's what I'm saying, right? You see this Magic the Gathering promo set right here. They're all very My Little Pony-esque, and it's one of those things where, for one reason or another, people like collecting this kind of stuff. And so, when people see this, they may get into Magic, even though they didn't in the past. And again, anytime that happens, Magic wins. Magic attracts new customers. But more importantly, Magic kind of reiterates to its fan base that, hey, we're gonna try new things. We're not afraid to fail. We're going to bring you the coolest, most interesting trading card game you can possibly be. And we now, as the Pokemon TCG fan community, have to ask ourselves the question, is Pokemon doing the same? And I'll save that for the back half of this video, but what I will say, as a little spoiler, is that I don't think they're doing quite as well as they could be. Now, moving on. The crossovers aren't the only cool things that are happening, notes the article. In addition to the cards, you also have the artists and the collaborations with artists. You have, a very particular themed sets, like Vampire themed set that features 18 alternate art set of Dracula cards created by non-Magic the Gathering artists, including the Castlevania character designer. So that's pretty cool, right? Castlevania is one thing, MTG is another thing, Vampire themed sets of trading cards is another thing. You put them all together and it sounds like a pretty dope reason to stick your head up and look into Magic the Gathering. Same concept with a werewolf themed Midnight Hunt set. And then you're going to get, a draft box, don't know what that is, called Double Feature. That's the one that's actually featured all the way up here, where you're going to have both the vampires and the werewolves. And again, it just creates some really cool allure around the set in general that people can really get into and enjoy. If you want to see this in Pokemon, there are a few sets that I think really did this very well. Hidden Fates did it very well, as it relates to every pack had a hit, and it was so fun to open, and it was a really enjoyable set, primarily themed around shiny Pokemon. But then, notice that Shining Fates didn't do as well, because Shining Fates was basically trying to capture all of the, smoke and razzle-dazzle of that particular item, and kind of rebottling it and repurposing it in 2021. And frankly, I don't think they did it quite as well. So the article says that that is only a small taste of the cool things happening. But meanwhile, the Pokemon TCG releases cards with Pokemon on them. And, there is a little bit of writing here about, hey, don't get me wrong, Sword and Shield has been fun, and recent sets like Evolving Skies and Fusion Strike include breathtaking alternate art cards. Again, exactly what I noted earlier. The 25th anniversary set was an amazing way to honor the legacy of Pokemon. And then on top of that, you have the Post Malone cards and the 2016 Japan-only Mario Pikachu cards, which are the only things we've really gotten close to crossover sets. And as noted, Pokemon has never done anything on the level of Universe Beyond or Double Feature, where they really kind of push the real boundaries of the trading card game in a fun or enjoyable way. And again, one thing that I want to make abundantly clear is that I think all trading card games are built to be exactly that, trading card games. If you want to be a collector of the TCG, you have to realize that, you might collect, but again, it's kind of half and half. Things shouldn't be primarily driven towards the collectors of a trading card set just so that it's fun, cool, and quirky, right? But all that said, Pokemon doesn't seem to have a problem with making tournament legal cards and then making some cards non-tournament legal. And again, we've seen this across things like Hidden Fates, we've seen things like Celebrations where they're going out of their way to indicate what is and what isn't tournament legal. And so it's really not a surprise to anybody that they could do something like the Post Malone, Katy Perry, and J Balvin cards, and that's fine because they're not meant to be played with. They're meant to be collected, and that's cool. And then there are other sets, what I would imagine is something similar to Evolving Skies is to what maybe the Double Feature is, but a set with a strong set identity that really kind of focuses in on the cards, the Pokemon featured in that set, and the theme around that particular set. It can't be a situation where Japan has all the set identity and English is just repackaged garbage. And at the same time, it can't be a situation where there are situations playing out where, for one reason or the other, random cards pop up randomly in other things. And I think that is something that I mentioned in this video, where I really went out of my way to kind of say, I'm not a fan of what they did with Evolving Skies. They really kind of went in there, and I know that that video tends to get a lot more feedback and a lot more comments with people telling me that they disagree, and I respect your opinion 100%. My only thought is that I wonder how much that has affected the set identity of Evolving Skies, because again, one of my major arguments was if you're going to make a set based on evolutions and call it Evolving Skies, you might as well put all the evolutions in there. That's what drives set identity. But this is why I think Pokemon may be lagging behind other TCG, because the thing is that if you're going to have companies really kind of double down on this amazing artwork and this amazing identity and this amazing experience of opening the packs up, and then Pokemon's going to come around, carve up the evolution set, and give you half the cards away as promos, while it does help with availability and it hopefully does help more people get these cards, it takes away from the set, the experience of opening up the set, and realistically, the overall goodwill that the TCG generates for the long run. Because again, anyone could go out to a store and buy the box and open up the promo and have the promo. But part of the experience of opening, enjoying, and collecting this set is, opening up the cards and pulling the cards. And I think that is something that may or may not be impacting Pokemon in a negative way, especially when you put them up against their competitors like Digimon, like DBZ, and like Magic the Gathering, just as a simple start. So the article will wrap up right now, just saying, hey, there's a lot of opportunity here to expand, right? Good news is Pokemon is housed under the Nintendo umbrella of IPs, so you have things like Super Smash Bros, you have things like things like Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild 2, all really interesting ways that you could, get some really interesting collaborations along the way. And again, we have seen this before with the Japan-only Mario cards, but I think it's time Pokemon start looking into a little bit more of this stuff, right? Every year now, more or less, we get a Charizard-themed set that comes out, right? We got Hidden Fates, we got Champion's Path, we got Shining Fates. At this point, it's more like every 6 months. So it's not like they're afraid to commit to a particular identity and then push it along as a set. And I think it would be super, super cool, at a minimum, to test out something like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate or, Animal Crossing. It may not necessarily be the biggest or the baddest or the coolest set, but I do think there is an opportunity there that Pokemon should explore. But with all that said, friends, thanks again for checking out another video. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like down below and let me know what you think. Do you think Pokemon is doing enough? Do you think they could, take some clues from Magic the Gathering or other trading card games in order to create a little bit more unique Pokemon card sets or Pokemon card identity within a particular set? And as always, hey, if you're not already, feel free to subscribe to join the Gengar Gang. It's the best way to help our happy little community grow, and we are always happy to welcome new members. But with all that said, friends, thanks again for checking out another video. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and we will talk soon. Peace.